Hello, everyone. This is your host, Yusuf, for Big Juice Podcast. I'm so excited today to announce that this is the first episode that's going to be held in English language. Not just that, it's also going to be the first interview themed episode. So, this means that I have a guest today that's going to go through the topic of the episode, which is the Arabic language. Good morning, Sharik Filani.
Good morning, Yusuf. It's not Filani, it's Filian. Filian.
Filian. Sharik
Like,
Filian.
if you want to sound Frenchy in Lebanon, they say Filian, but if you want to pronounce it the Armenian way, it's Filian.
So, where are you originally from?
I'm Lebanese, but I have Armenian roots.
Oh, okay, that's
Like
why.
my great grandparents are of Armenian origin.
Okay, that's a good start. So let's say happy
Yeah.
Easter and happy quarantine. I'll let you guys
Thank you. Happy Easter.
happy Easter to you. Likewise, just let you guys know that me and Sharik are keeping the rules of social distancing. So we're making this episode through an application. We're not face to face. And how are you
He's lying.
quarantine?
No, we're social distancing, of course.
So how are you coping up with the quarantine and the lockdown in London?
Well, I don't know. It depends. Sometimes I feel good. Sometimes I feel low, like everyone else.
Yeah. So as you know from the title of the episode that today we're going to talk about the Arabic language, which is so ironic because this is the first English episode where we're going to talk about the Arabic language. But can you, Sharik, introduce yourself to our listeners today and what do you do and why you're here today? And especially, what does it mean by Sharik?
Well, yeah, as you said, I'm Sharik. My family name is Filian.
Filion.
My name means my name means little particles of dew. It's even more complicated than my name. But anyways,
Yeah, let's go
so
ahead to
I'm
the...
from Lebanon. I live in London. I've been here for almost 9 years. I work as an Arabic language teacher. I've worked with diplomats in the Foreign Office in London, and also I taught in the Ministry of Defense.
Wow.
At the University of Westminster, different places. So I teach across different companies in London, in different companies
That's pretty
across
cool. You have
London.
a good resume. So, why
Thank
did you
you.
choose the Arabic language? Because I know that you can speak Armenian, English, a little bit of French and Arabic, but why did you pick Arabic?
There's no like a flowery reason. It's just because when I used to live in Lebanon, I used to be an English language teacher. But when I came to the UK, I realized that nobody needs my English because obviously people speak much better English than me. So I thought, why can't I take this as an opportunity to explore my own language on a more professional level? So I started doing this. But I do have a degree in translation. I have a master's degree in translation and in intercultural communication. And my PhD was in language discourse and communication. So I do have like
Wow,
a linguistic background anyways.
that's good. And what makes you feel that the Arabic language is unique or...
Of many things, but the first thing that comes to my mind is that it's such a flowery language. It's very poetic, and we have so many beautiful expressions that don't exist in other languages. Sometimes when I come to say something we say in Arabic, I want to say it, explain it to someone here in London. I just find myself with no words to say the same thing because we don't have the same, we have a different culture basically, and the language reflects the culture that we have.
Okay, what is the roots of the Arabic language?
The Arabic language comes from what we call a Semitic language. It's a Semitic language, just like Hebrew, Aramaic. So these languages, of course, developed over time. And today we have what we call modern standard Arabic and the dialects across other Arabic countries. And of course, classical Arabic, which is everything that has to do with Arabic literature, religion, culture. Yeah.
So, can you also like explain the new language that recently have been created after the progress of the social media, which is called Franco-Arabic?
Yes. But I think before talking about Franco-Arabic, also it's important to mention about the dialects, I want to say that dialects are spoken in different Arabic countries. Like we have almost 27, I guess, or was it 28? 28 dialects that are different, and every country has a different dialect. But what unifies the Arabic countries is the modern standard Arabic, which is the common language that unifies them. But the problem with this is that it's not the problem, but what makes it unnatural is that this is a language that the modern standard Arabic language is never spoken. It's only the language you find in the newspapers and on formal or political talk shows. So, for example, if I come to you and you're Egyptian and I'm Lebanese, right? You're
Yeah,
Egyptian and I come and I speak to you in modern standard Arabic. Of course, you will understand me, but what will you do the first thing you hear me?
I'll laugh.
Yeah, you will laugh at me, of course. It's so weird. It's like I'm trying to speak Shakespeare's language in London. Of course, people might understand me, but they will definitely find me weird. That's
Yeah,
what happens when you go to an Arabic country and you speak modern standard Arabic. But we still learn it. Everybody has to learn it because that's the language that unifies us, and that's the formal language.
yeah,
But when it comes to dialects, dialects don't have a standardized written form, and different people write them in different ways, and different countries have their different dialects. But of course, uh, we do understand each other. Like, for example, if you speak to me in Egyptian, I don't have to reply in Egyptian, I reply in Lebanese, but there's this automatic adjustment that people do. And if I speak Lebanese, somebody else replies in Egyptian, and we don't even realize we're speaking two different dialects. It feels so
yeah.
natural.
It depends. Like if you're not saying a lot of Lebanese expressions that's not familiar for Egyptians, I'm not gonna understand it. But
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah,
let's
which
jump.
which is what makes it unique.
Yeah. So let's jump to the Franco-Arabic question. What is Franco-Arabic? Because there's a lot of people that don't know anything about this language that we created as 19th generation for the social media to use the English letters to make them sound like an Arabic words, which is really easy for not switching the keyboard from English to Arabic, so we can write whatever we want in Arabic but with English letters. So actually we still using Arabic but using the English letter to speak Arabic. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's how we do it. We use Roman letters, Latin letters,
Yes.
basically, to say stuff in Arabic. And sometimes it's even awkward in some Arabic countries and cultures. Like, for example, the culture I come from is very French oriented. And if I type in Arabic, almost always in it's almost always by using Latin letters,
Yes.
or the Roman alphabet, basically. But and if I type in Arabic, it would sound a bit sometimes awkward. I won't say awkward, but
It's not awkward.
it's
It's
just
weird for
something
us.
we do. It's not something we do, and sometimes even funny enough, we can even distinguish between which area a person comes from or their background and all of that
Or
by the
maybe
way they
their
use the
age as
language.
well. Their age. Like usually our
Yes, of
parents
course.
like write in
Yes,
Arabic letters as well.
yes, yes. And that's how we can
Yeah.
distinguish between the cultural background of the person by the way they're writing, of course, or even by the way they speak. Yeah.
Yeah. So as we're like talking about the Arabic language, we want to talk about the Arabic alphabet. How many alphabet in the Arabic language, and how do you teach them to your students?
There is something I need to, first of all, clarify. When I say that when I'm speaking to my friends and I use the Roman alphabet, it doesn't mean writing Arabic is not important. Not at all. This is something very, very important, and I always use it with my students. Sometimes I have students who come to me and say, oh, I just want to speak Arabic, but I don't want to write Arabic. But in my opinion, it doesn't work this way. So first of all, to begin with, the Arabic alphabet has 28 letters. What makes it unique is that it doesn't we don't write from left to right. We write from right to left. That's the first thing. The second thing is that in English, for example, you have letters in one form. You have the letter B that has one form, the letter C that has one form. But in Arabic, to make things more complicated, every letter has four shapes. We have the
Four. I
letter,
thought there are three, one in the beginning, middle, and the end.
yeah, and when it's on its own, when the letter
Oh,
is
yeah.
on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when the letter is on its own, it has a shape. When it's at the beginning of the word, it has a shape. At the middle of the word, a different shape. And at the end of the word, another shape. But having said that, it's not too scary because it's not like you're learning a totally different letter. No, it's just little adjustments we make to the letter, like adding a tail in the beginning, a tail in the end, just to make it possible to attach the letters to each other, because Arabic is a cursive language. And also, of course, the printed form of the Arabic language when it's written, it's always different from when it's handwritten. A little bit different, like the shapes would be less curvy when you're writing it. Yeah, so this is the alphabet, but it's, in my opinion, why is it important to learn it? Even if somebody is not learning modern standard Arabic and they are learning a dialect, it's because it helps students in memorizing things. You internalize things when you write them, right? It
Yeah.
makes you become much more fluent. And of course, in the future, when they want to buy books or read books, language books, I mean, they should know how to read and write, because they wouldn't be able to find resources if they rely on non-Arabic alphabet all
Yeah.
their life. They can't rely on it all their life.
So
Yeah.
can we mention those 28 letters really quickly?
Yalla, you will mention it with me.
Okay,
Start.
let's see. Alif,
Ba,
Ta,
fa,
Gim.
Gim.
Alif,
In
B,
Lebanese, we
T,
would say
T,
Jim. Jim,
Ta,
you see? That's one of the differences.
Jim.
Egyptians go Gim, and I would go Jim.
Okay.
And another Arabic person goes Jim. So, yeah. I will say Jim because it's my language. That's how I say it. Okay.
Gim.
Jim. Okay. Go.
Ha,
Kha.
Kha. B. I have to say it from the beginning. Alif, B, T, Se, Gim,
Sa.
Ha, Kha,
Kha.
Da,
Dal.
Dal,
Dal. Zal. Ra.
Ra,
Zain. Sin.
Shin,
Go. Shin. Sad.
Dad,
Dad.
Ta,
Ta. Za. And when I say za,
Za,
some people make fun of this because they go like za or za. We don't
Za.
do this in Lebanese, okay? We just go za, okay?
Okay.
Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Lam,
Mim,
Mim, Noon, He,
Eh,
Wow, Ye.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of this, I just remembered something very important I do in terms of pronunciation. When I'm doing the first, very first lesson with my students, before saying anything, before introducing ourselves, before talking, I introduce the difficult sounds in Arabic. And when I say difficult sounds, these are the sounds that don't exist in other languages, like the sound ha,
Yeah.
ha.
Ha.
So
When
for
you say
example,
Sabah al Khair, it's really hard for my
exactly.
friends to Sabah al Khair.
Exactly. English speakers have a tendency to pronounce it as a kh or a
Why?
h. Because, you know, if you don't try something, I don't know, if you've never danced in your life and you try to dance, you go to a dance class, do you immediately feel, oh yeah, I'm capable of dancing? Or you need some time, some practice, some training? And the same applies to speaking, because it's something that your throat is doing. It's a biological thing you've never tried in your life. So of course,
So it's not
you need some
impossible
practice.
to pronounce those difficult letters, right?
No, of course not. And I'm not being pretentious here and using the word challenging instead of difficult. No, we have to be honest and say it's difficult for some people, and they
Much
can
easier
get
for
there,
other
of
people,
course,
yeah.
if they practice. Yeah, for some people, it depends on the language that you speak. It depends on your own native language, if you speak other languages as well.
So can you mention some of those letters that have difficulty in how to say them?
Yes, of course. So I always start with the letter ha, ha. Okay,
Ha.
when people go ha, no, you have to say to them it's ha. ha. It's like you when you clean your glasses, you don't go like ha ha your eyeglasses. No, you really push the air out, right? You go like
Yeah, that's because in English they only have the letter H. They don't have the ha. They have the he. Like
exactly. But that's different. We have the letter ha in Arabic,
yeah,
but we also have the letter ha.
ha
So that's like really pushing the air out. Ha. So
ha.
I try to introduce the ha sound and then I try to put vowels with it like ha,
Yeah.
ho, hey. So we practice this a lot, a lot, a lot. And then we try to put them into words gradually. The next word, the next letter would be, for example, and I try to, of course, create visual things that they can imagine doing so that they can remember the sound. So, for example, when we're doing the ha, I always tell them, imagine yourself, see yourself as if you are cleaning your glasses. When we go to the letter kha, for example, kha, kha, I tell them, imagine you're spitting that sound. Yeah. So these are
What
things
about the
that make
ra, which is in your name,
the
Charri?
yeah, that's really one of the most difficult ones. But if you're French, for example, the ra should really be very easy for you because the R in the French language is
Mhm.
like the rain in our language, which is the same sound, r, r. So if you want to learn the letter rain, you can put a little bit of water in your mouth and you can go like r when you gargle. When you have a sore throat, you put lemon and water and whatever salt in a cup and you go and you gargle, right?
Yeah.
So gargling really helps because it activates that part of the throat that pronounces the letter r. So
I
if you
guess this
try
is the
like now,
most important letter your students should learn so they can say your name right.
pronounce my name. Yeah, of course. Until now, I have people who call me Shaghik, Chaghik, Shahi.
Oh my god.
But if you put a little bit of saliva in your throat, in the back of your throat, and you go like,
Charri.
and that's how you can start pronouncing it. And of course, I always tell my students that, okay, you might have a sore throat today at the end of the lesson, but well, it's stuff that we should address from the beginning because, you know, you can learn grammar and maybe you can learn wrong rules or whatever, and then you can fix them. But once you pick up bad habits in pronunciation, that's really very, very difficult to reverse. So
Yeah.
it's very, very important to
It's
work
going to
on your
be stuck in your
pronunciation.
head from the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you have to work on your pronunciation very, very well from the beginning. So that's the letters ha, kha, ghain. We have the letter ain. That one, oh my God. Like
Like
really a lot of
Omar.
people like like for example here in the UK, when it's Eid, they call it Eid.
Eid.
And I had a friend whose name is Omar, and he calls himself Umar. And I was
Umar.
trying to teach and I was trying to teach him to say Omar. He wasn't able to say it. And I told him, you can't even pronounce your own name. But of course, it's not like he can't pronounce his own name, but that's how it's said in English. So some proper nouns,
Yeah.
even if they are Arabic in an English speaking country, they become different. It becomes Umar in that case. But this one is like, maybe you can imagine yourself like an angry dog and go like,
Yeah. I love the acting
and then
techniques you have.
yeah. So,
Oh,
for example, in Arabic, a dog doesn't go woof woof. A
yeah.
dog goes
Wow.
ow ow.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, wow. Wow.
Arabic dogs have a different language than British dogs. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You can say that. So, as we're speaking
Okay.
about your students, which type of Arabic language they ask you to teach them? Like the classical one, or I guess that sometimes they ask you to have the Arabic integrated approach
Yeah.
learning as well.
That's a very important question. First of all, let's begin by explaining what is the integrated approach. It's more like a mixture of both modern standard Arabic, the language you find in newspapers, formal talk shows, as I said, and then you have the dialect, the spoken dialects, the different spoken dialects. So sometimes this approach is about teaching both at the same time, even if it's not to the same degree, but they start slowly introducing one. For example, if you're learning Lebanese Arabic, let's say, there's this approach, and with this approach, you start gradually introducing some words in modern standard Arabic so that you
Mhm.
don't really look at the two as separate languages. You look at them as one language. Okay, so this is one approach. Another thing is that I have students who want to learn modern standard Arabic. So before you start learning Arabic, it's very important to ask yourself, why are you learning Arabic? Okay, if you're learning Arabic because you want to travel to an Arabic speaking country, or you need Arabic for you
Religion
because you're
purposes.
yes, you need Arabic because you're traveling to an Arabic speaking country and you're going to work in an Arabic speaking country, and you will use Arabic in a formal capacity. Maybe you will write reports, emails in Arabic, you have to write Arabic articles. You want to understand the religion as well. If you're a Muslim and you want to learn your own religion, of course you have to
From the
learn
Holy
modern
Quran.
standard. Yes, and sometimes I also tell my students they can learn modern standard Arabic if they're going to teach Arabic. For like if they want to learn Arabic linguistics, they have to
Mhm.
learn modern standard Arabic. But on the other hand, if you are someone who wants to learn Arabic to connect with people uh, on a daily basis in real life, and you want to get to the hearts of people, to their emotions, you use their dialect. If you speak modern standard Arabic, it's going to sound very weird and you won't be able to connect with those people on an emotional level. So, of course, if you, for example, have a girlfriend, you want to speak to her, or a boyfriend, you want to speak to her in her own language, yes,
Yeah.
of course, you have to speak a dialect. If, for example, you want to talk to the people in the street, you want to go to the market, you want to buy fruits, you just want to go to the butchers, you have to speak the dialect. Now,
Yeah.
when it comes to the integrated approach, it really depends on the preference of the learner. There are learners who like that, there are learners who don't like that. Personally, I know a lot of linguists don't like this, but personally, I like to separate things when it comes to learning the dialect. When it comes to learning modern standard Arabic, yes, I like to integrate some dialect. But when it comes to learning the dialect, I like to really teach my own dialect as it is. Why? First, because I'm emotionally attached to it.
Of
Okay.
course.
Because I like people to speak, like how people, humans speak on a daily basis. And also because I think that, as I said, sometimes when you try to mix both, it feels like you are, I don't know, like you are trying to speak a language that is not spoken. And it's like it sounds a bit patronizing as well, you know?
Yeah.
Or it sounds like you're an Arabic learner, but it's not going to sound 100% natural. That's my real opinion. I don't
And
know.
for you as a teacher, which Arabic language do you prefer to teach people? Like which one you get
I like
excited?
teaching both. I love teaching modern standard Arabic. I really do. And I love teaching Lebanese, of course, because it
Yeah.
has its own,
Yeah, I
place
know
in
you.
my heart.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people appreciate it because, yes, there are lots of people who teach modern standard Arabic, but those who teach Lebanese Arabic or the Levantine dialect are very few. So
Hmm.
I want to really talk about a myth, the myth that the Arabic language is difficult. It really is not a difficult language at all. It's a very logical language with a very logical structure. But the difficulty of the Arabic is in its varieties, and that's why people find it difficult. Not because when you focus on one of them, on a dialect or MSA it's not difficult. But the difficulty of it is that you have to be patient. It takes time. You're not going to suddenly start speaking it, oh yeah, in 4 months or
Yeah. And
5 months, really be fluent.
how much time a person would need to be in a good level in Arabic? Like,
Also, the word good level it needs a lot of definition. First of all, it depends on how many hours the person is studying a day, how many hours of lessons they are taking, how much homework do they do, what is their background, what language they speak, and their learning abilities. Some people can be faster in speaking, but others can be faster in vocabulary. So it really depends on the learner's learning experience. But from my experience, I feel that when I taught, okay, if I talk about the diplomats that I was working with, they were doing 3 hours of Arabic every day
mhm.
and 5 days a week. So that's like 15 hours of Arabic and let's say 2-3 hours of self-study. And within 6 months, they were capable of really having decent conversations, of going to the shops, going to a restaurant, ordering food, those little basic conversations in life. But within 1 year, they were achieving very decent levels. I would say within 2 years, they would be very, very good.
Yeah, I guess
That's
another.
by learning Arabic every day. But for those people who are studying, let's say with me once or twice a week, it takes longer. But again, when I leave them with a lot of homework, they can really achieve
Yeah,
very
it's by
good levels
practice.
within 6 months or 1 year. I'm not saying they can speak anything with anyone, no, but
Of course.
some topics at least they can discuss them, yes.
And also another factor that affect that your students, if they are shy, if they're lazy, if they don't like to do any
Yes,
mistakes, it also
of
like slow
course,
up this process of learning Arabic.
of
So
course.
what advice you give to people that always criticize people who don't speak the language? Like if they did any small mistake, they would say, this is wrong, this is wrong. They give
You mean they self-criticize themselves or people who criticize others?
both.
Okay, if it's people who criticize others, we don't care about them. We leave them to the side and we ignore them. But
Do you get
self-criticism is,
criticized as well, you as a teacher?
um, mm, I might have been without my knowledge, but I've never from my students. But I did get some, for example, once I got a comment on YouTube saying, oh, you're teaching this, it's not real Arabic, you're teaching the Lebanese Arabic, or for example, I don't know, you're saying, okay, well, that's a lot of details, but in standard Arabic, we have what we call the harakat, where we have to add short vowel sounds at the end of words like u, a, e. And sometimes we drop them, which makes the language a little bit less formal. So for some people, they feel like, oh, if we're not giving that information, it's like you're not giving the real Arabic. And when it comes to this, I think that's a bit ridiculous, because the purpose of teaching a language and learning a language is being able to communicate. And when you communicate, you achieved your goal. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes or whatever. So really, just go out there, speak the language, have
You don't
faith
have
in
to be
yourself,
perfect.
trust yourself.
Like for us, living in London doesn't mean that we have to speak native British accent. Just speak the way that
Of course,
you
and even British people appreciate the fact that you can speak English anyways. But having said that, of course, as a teacher, I try my best to correct my students all the time whenever they make mistakes, so that they can, improve their language as much as they can. Because even like when we talk about mistakes, there are common mistakes that become really like correct words. You see what I mean? Like, for example, I can't think of a word now, but there are things like that. And language is never a fixed entity. Language always changes and evolves, and we can't look at it as if it's like, okay, what one thing that is never going to change. That's why languages change a lot. Yeah.
Can we show people like a basic conversation in Arabic? So on this podcast, so you can learn a little bit of words in Arabic, me and
Okay,
you.
of course. Are we going to do it the Lebanese Egyptian way or the standard Arabic way? Let's do the Lebanese Egyptians for people.
I don't speak Lebanese, but I will
No, you
try.
do you
I
do
will
the
do the
Egyptian,
Egyptian
and I
one.
do, yeah, and I
Okay.
reply in Lebanese.
Okay, let's go. Go ahead. I'm gonna start with Sabah al Khair.
Bonjour. That's not Lebanese, by the way. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
French, but that's how
this
we
is
say it in
French.
bonjour. Yeah.
Yeah. عاملة إيه?
Ça va, ماشي الحال.
Oh, you sound so French. This is not even.
But that's why, that's the thing. There is a very common expression we use when we are talking about Lebanese people. The first thing they say is, the first three words they say is hi, kifak ça va. Hi is in English, kifak is in Arabic, and ça va is in French. It's a way to show. It's actually a sentence that shows a question
How
that
many
shows
language?
how multilingual Lebanese people are and how much we mix things. Yes.
Yeah,
It
it's the
happens
same
that,
for Arabic. We always
yes.
use a mix of Arabic and English in the same time.
Okay.
So, okay,
لو
let's
أنت
continue.
كيفك يوسف؟
كويس.
كويس.
وانتي?
الحمد لله منيحة.
Okay, fair enough. I guess that's enough, because more than this, people wouldn't understand anything.
Okay, so we were
This
just
is what I've
saying,
been
how are you, and all of
teaching
that.
my friends here in London. So this is what they know, actually.
But let's just show them, for example, one example of the difference between the way we say how are you. How do we say how are you in Egyptian?
Okay, well, there's a feminine one which is عاملة ايه. If a masculine one, it's gonna
or
be
ازيك or
عامل
زيك.
ايه أو ازاي or ازيك for feminine or ازيك masculine.
So for example, if Yusuf says ازيك, I say كيفك. You see, these are two completely different words.
Yeah.
And they both mean how are you? ازيك, كيفك. So yeah, they can be very different sometimes. But the Egyptian dialect is very, very commonly understood in most Arabic countries.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, because of the TV series and movies, we also understand.
Yes, way before the internet, because of in the 60s especially, Egypt was the hub of the Arabic cinema, and all artists and singers and all those famous people, they were hatching, if I can say, in Egypt. So that's why the Egyptian dialect became very popular in Arabic countries, and most of us understand it because until today we still watch black and white movies. In Egyptian, we hear Egyptian songs. Recently, however, the Levantine dialect, the Lebanese dialect, the Syrian dialect also became very popular because of some foreign talk shows and soap operas that were translated into our dialect and also watched by other Arabic countries. And also there are so many Lebanese singers that are very famous in Arabic countries. And also, of course, the political situation in Syria and Lebanon that, you know, makes things
I got what you mean.
Gives more exposure to. So if you want to learn a dialect, you have to learn either Egyptian or
Lebanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're being so selfish right now.
but really, if you want to learn a dialect, so sometimes people ask me, which dialect should you learn? I give them two options. One, first of all, who do you want to communicate with? Where is the person you want to communicate with, or the people you want to communicate with from? What origin are you? Choose that one. So, for example, if your girlfriend is from
Tunis,
you know, from Tunis,
Algeria, France.
you can learn the Tunisian dialect. Of course, that would be much better for you. But if you don't have anyone, you don't have anyone specific, you have to choose a dialect that is very widely spoken. And yes, two of the widely spoken dialects are
the Egyptian,
the Levantine dialect and the Egyptian.
And now it's time for Q&A. Sharik, now I'm gonna ask you 4 questions. If you didn't answer them really quickly and correctly, then you have to do something I'm gonna ask you for, okay? Deal?
Okay, deal.
Okay. First question is, mention 5 English loan words that are originally Arabic. So guys, loan words is words that are originally from another language like French, German, Spanish that we use in English, but they're originally...
I don't know, coffee maybe? Which one came first, coffee or ahwe?
Okay, coffee
I'm not sure.
It's correct. Keep going.
Okay. Za'afaran, saffron.
Okay.
What else do we have? Sugar, sukkar. I'm not sure which one came first. They are similar.
No.
Okay. What else do we have? I can't remember now.
Then you lost.
Okay,
admit it. Okay, you have coffee, alcohol, cotton, which is
alcohol, cotton, yes. Cotton is cotton. Kahul, alcohol.
Laymoon, which is lemon.
Oh, okay.
And algebra, which is al-gabr. You failed for the second question.
It's funny how I was teaching this and I forgot it. Yeah, okay.
Okay, this is the second question. Mention 13 countries where Arabic language is the main language at them.
Okay, Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, Palestine, Egypt, Iraq, Yemen, the UAE.
Okay.
Tunis, Maghreb, Jazair, Algeria. What else?
Only one left. That you can be more than 13, so more than one.
Oman.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yemen.
Okay. Yemen, I said it.
Did you say Libya?
I didn't say
Kuwait.
Libya. Kuwait, I didn't.
And I guess Somalia as well.
Okay. Yes.
And I guess in the United States of America as well, it's one of the main languages.
Okay.
Yeah,
By the way,
so
did you know that Arabic is the second most learned language in the UK after English?
this is a good information to share. I didn't know
I
that.
think I think so. I'm not 100%, but maybe 99% sure.
Okay, let's jump to the third question, and I hope you're prepared for it. So, as we talked in the beginning, that Arabic language is very unique, and one of the things that makes it unique that we don't have capital letters. So,
Oh yeah, I should have told you that before.
yeah, I know this. So the question is, instead of the capital letters, what do we use in writing to emphasize or stress on any words? You know, when we use capital letters to stress on something when we're talking or we're writing.
Ah, you mean, oh, I think the way we do it is by repeating a letter many times, or that's how I do it at least.
Okay,
And anyways, we don't.
I can say that this is right.
Or
but
maybe we
this-
use more exclamation marks, but
Yeah, it's
don't-
quotation
can-
marks.
yeah, quotation marks. I
Yeah.
never saw someone do it.
I do it.
Okay, but it's easier to just use exclamation marks. It's just faster than opening a quotation mark and then putting the word and then closing.
Okay. Still a wrong answer. So you're doing.
No, but I think the best answer would be when you repeat a letter a lot, like
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 times.
Or just send a voice note shouting.
Yeah, that's the best, of course.
Okay, last question. Give me more than 5 words that express the word love.
حبيبي بحبك تعجبني بموت فيك يا
Okay, but
You see, I'm much faster when it comes to love expressions than counting
yeah, but
countries.
the last one that you said, I should cut it from the editing.
No, don't cut it. Like I said, يقبرني and this
Oh
is
my
an
God,
expression
don't
we
repeat
use.
it again.
This is an expression we use a lot in Lebanon, and we actually
Yeah, we don't
say it
use-
to kids. We use it to babies. When I say to a baby, يقبرني,
Okay,
like, I'm literally
you don't have to
saying,
explain this. Let's
may your bum,
okay,
whatever.
okay. So
May your
we're
bum
not gonna talk
bury
about
me.
bums.
I love
We're
you
not
so
gonna-
much.
Okay, she's just oh.
That's how we say it. I love you so much that I want to
Okay,
die
that's
before
okay.
you.
Okay, I'm going to jump really quickly to the other part of the questions for you, Sharik. So, jumping on your professional working experience, how many people that you have taught so far? Like, give me a range of numbers.
Oh my God, it's so much. I don't know. I didn't even think about it.
If
I've
you
been
gotta
teaching
pick a
Arabic
number,
for like 7 years in the UK, 8 years almost in the UK. So that's like a big number. I don't know.
you don't know.
But
Like, if you're gonna say a number like
300.
150, 300.
I'm just like, I throw a number, let's say on average, if it's,
Wow.
no, it's not 300, it's much less than that. 250, yes. 200, I don't know.
200. Okay, let's say it's 200.
Yeah.
So for people being in quarantine right now, and how can you advise them if they want to learn a new language? And
Well, if they're, of course,
especially
if they're
it's
not
Arabic.
working, it's a great opportunity for them to learn a language because a lot of the things that we have now are online and for free. So if you go to my channel, for example, you will find, I don't know, around 150 videos for free. I don't remember, 130 something, I don't know. That's a lot of content, and I put a lot of long lessons.
Yeah, we're gonna come to that, but I'm asking in general, if anyone wants to learn a new language, what advice?
Make the most of the free information world that we live in, and then of course buy yourself some books if you want to learn things during the quarantine. You can buy online books. But there are so many apps people can use, but mainly, you have to have the willpower to do it, and you have to be organized. But yeah, people can try.
And how can
I know many people who were self-teaching themselves, and it works for a while, but then you will need a teacher.
Yeah, of course, you always need a teacher, and sometimes you need to travel to a country and
of course
surround yourself with people speaking this language that
yes, and that's what I do with my videos, because I know that a lot of people don't have the chance to integrate themselves in an Arabic speaking country. So I create vlogs and I create authentic videos that kind of gives learners the experience of being in an Arabic country.
Okay, good that you mentioned that. So for people who are willing to learn Arabic right now and they're listening to this podcast, how they can reach your channel or reach you in person if they need a course or anything?
Well, my channel is called Globetrot with Arabic because I initially created it to teach Arabic online to those people who need flexible learning hours. Maybe they like to travel and have adventures around the world. Maybe they are entrepreneurs or, I don't know, full-time mom and dads. Anyone who wants to learn Arabic without making excuses. So that's why I called it Globetrot with Arabic. So what was the question?
How people can reach you through
So
your...
they can reach me by going to my channel on YouTube, which is
Yeah.
called Globetrot with
We're gonna put the
Arabic.
link for the channel in the description or under
Yes.
this episode.
And you can also go to my Instagram and follow my page on Instagram, Globetrot with Arabic. I almost upload lessons on a daily basis, small lessons, big lessons. And now I'm on TikTok.
Oh
Yay!
my God, yeah, I've seen
And
a lot of videos.
And I'm putting videos on TikTok. You can find me at Globetrot with Arabic. I have a SoundCloud and a LinkedIn account, Globetrot with Arabic. But if you want to reach me directly, of course, you can text me anywhere on those platforms.
So the content...
But I have my own email address, which is Chagig, CHAGHIG, at globetrotwitharabic.com.
We're gonna put all that in the description below. But
yeah.
For the YouTube channel and Instagram, this is a free content, right? But if someone really wants a proper course, they should DM you or send you an email, right?
Yes, of course, because I already put so many free stuff out there. And when it comes to courses, I need to make a living, So
yeah,
I can't give everything for free at some point.
You need to give them assignments and check on them.
And it takes a lot of my energy as well, and their energy.
Yeah, of course.
And it's something...
Bless you.
Thank
so,
you.
Working on your content, and you're saying it takes a lot of time and energy. What obstacles do you face in teaching Arabic or uploading your content on different social media platforms like SoundCloud, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok?
The main obstacle is that I work on my own and I do every single detail on my own. But I love this obstacle because I'm a very hands-on person and I like doing things on my own and I don't always trust. And that's a problem I have. I'm not a person who knows how to give things to others. But it's still an obstacle because things take much more time when you're doing it alone. And it's not as easy as it sounds initially. When people tell you, oh, you have to do this on YouTube, you have to upload it in this way, you have to know how to put the keywords, the title, and then you try everything and you don't get views. You still don't get views. You put hours and hours and hours of work into a video and in the end only 100 people see it, and it's really sometimes demotivating, because it takes
I know what you mean, but it's
a lot of time.
Yeah, it always comes to that video that go viral and then everything else pops off.
Well, I'm still waiting for it.
It's gonna happen, trust me. So,
but thank God I do have a lot of people who appreciate my work, and it's growing.
How many followers or subscribers you have so far?
I think today I was checking, it was 1,560, around something like that.
That's good. I guess
that's on YouTube. But on Instagram, I have around 4.5K, which is not bad at all.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And how long have you launched your YouTube channel? For 1 year, I guess?
Yeah. I've been uploading on a regular basis since 1 year, but I've had it for about 1.5 years. But initially,
I guess since I have moved to London.
Yes, a bit later on. So next month in May, it's going to be 1 year basically.
Wow.
That I upload regularly.
Okay, for your course as well, let us give the students that are eager to have a course with you. What is the teaching technique that you use in your teaching course?
Yeah. It depends also if it's a personal course, a face-to-face private lesson or group lessons. At the moment,
I guess at the moment you don't have
group lessons.
Yeah,
at the moment I'm running group lessons because of the situation with COVID-19, and also group lessons are usually cheaper, so people find it more okay to do group lessons. The way I teach usually is very, very conversational because, at the end of the day, that's why people are learning a language, to have a conversation. So my way is very conversational. but at the same time, so I include all aspects of language learning in my lessons, whether it's grammar, vocabulary, listening, speaking, writing. I do believe that listening is very, very important, but not just passive listening, active listening. When you listen and repeat, listen, repeat like a parrot, because that's how you develop native like fluency.
And do you encourage them to watch like Arabic movies or listen to Arabic music as well?
Of course, yes. And I use the Arabic movies in my classes. I transcribe them, we go over them. It gives them a very good feeling that they're actually understanding something that is, you know,
In different language.
yeah, and in real life as well, even if it's a movie, but the real life situations basically. Even now, I encourage my students to for example, when they go to my TikTok, I even got messages last week of one of my Instagram followers sending me a voice message and repeating one of the tongue twisters that I was doing on TikTok. The idea is not just to listen, oh yeah, it's fun and have fun. No, try to mimic as much as you can. Lip syncing is one of the most difficult things you can ever do. And if you do it when you're learning a language and you're trying to lip sync Arabic, oh my God, your native like fluency will improve really like at the speed of light.
That's pretty cool. So, is there anything before we end this podcast? Did I ask you everything? There's any information you want to share with anyone listening to this podcast about you or about the Arabic language or about your course?
Well, yes, if you want me to say about my course, it's a course starting next week on April 2020. So that's a very nice number.
Yes, it's a good
I
day.
will be teaching 3 levels: the absolute beginners, a general course, and the advanced. The absolute beginners is for people who have never spoken Arabic or can't read and write. The general course is for those people who can read and write and have had some exposure to the Arabic language from 6 months to 1 year and a half. And then the advanced course for people who have studied Arabic for about 2 years. You can leave, if you want, I can give you the information to leave in the link, the link to leave in the comment box below.
Yeah.
Of the times of the lessons. I'm even opening a lesson from 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. London time. That's for the people who are in the USA.
Okay, that's really cool that you're trying to reach everyone, different countries.
I'll try my best.
Okay, thank you, Sharik, so much for having you today in my
Thank
Big
you.
Juice podcast. And I
Thank
wish
you.
next time I'm gonna see you face to face, not through an application
Yes,
or anything.
I wish to, because it's tiring to be alone.
Yeah, it is, but hopefully it's going to end very, very soon. And thank you so much for today, Sharik. And
Thank you.
yeah,
This is
and
the first interview I've ever done in my life, so I'm feeling
the
important.
same. This is the first
So
interview themed
So
podcast.
thank you for making me feel so important.
You are very important. Like I've learned a lot about my language having this podcast episode with you. So thank you
Okay,
so
thank
much, Sharik, and
You're
I
welcome.
wish you all the best and good luck in your course and for your students as well.
Thank you. Bye.
That's it, guys, for listening for Big Juice podcast. I had so much fun with my guest today. I wish you all guys learned something new from this episode, and see you very, very soon in another episode. See you soon on Big Juice TV on YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.